we see as the health loan. And when it has a different character altogether. Because this, if it is non-income generation education loan, it is different because you can put it in strategy. If it is non-income generation housing loan, then you can also understand that, okay, fine, I need this much amount, everything. But in case of your emergency loan, health loan, you don't have any idea what kind of need would be there, and also when will it be there, so you cannot put it in strategy. Eventually, in case of the poor people, what happens that if they save some money, which is really tough, but still if they save the money, in one way or other it get washed off, so there is no money for them. And when this health emergency comes, they generally, what happens, they take a refuge to the money lenders, because they're these relatives and other people, they're also equally poor. And these people, they do have their self-respect also, so it is they always go to this their money lender. So what we wanted to do is to develop a microfinance product for the health purpose, where it is a bit instant in nature, and also building up a supportive ecosystem around it. So in what Medu Plus and Sadhan, we brought together ourselves and did a survey on the ground, that what kind of this demand supplies are there, what could be the probable loan size, everything. So we have done that one, and then we have done a workshop on that. Everything is done now. It is the time to implement, and while implementing, we need your support to support to implement, and also to give us more understanding that whether it is working or not working, everything. So my colleague Sangeeta will help you to understand that one. But even before, Bakshi sir is here, Prakash Bakshi sir. So if he can put forward some words. Bakshi sir,
Uh,
over to you.
thanks, Saibal. I think you have put the background very, very clearly before everyone. Uh, we are uh, not only looking at the health loan as a non-income generating loan, but it is a little different from other non-income generating loans. A loan for education, even when the education is complete, does not generate income immediately. A loan for house does not actually generate income. It may give a stability and so many other aspects to one's life. But I feel health is one issue where it impacts the livelihood itself, irrespective of whether the person is or the household is our borrower or not borrower. They are engaged in some activity, some income generating activity. And if somebody falls sick, not just the person who is engaged in income generating activity, but anybody in the house, इवन अपने घर में क्या होता है, हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं कहीं पर, लेकिन हमारा बच्चा बीमार होता है जो कहीं काम नहीं करना है, तो हम सब काम वाम छोड़ करके उस बच्चे को देखने के लिए चले जाते हैं, उसको अस्पताल ले जाते हैं, उसको डॉक्टर के पास ले जाते हैं। उस समय हमको काम की चिंता नहीं होती है, उस समय हमको परिवार के स्वास्थ्य की चिंता, उसके हेल्थ की चिंता ज्यादा होती है। और उसमें जो लोग गांव में काम करते हैं, दे lose their livelihood also, because if they have gone to hospital for 3 days, that means 3 days of work is lost. They don't get sick leave like perhaps we get. So for them, getting back to health, getting back to good health is like getting back to income generation once again. So as quickly as they come back to income generation, it will be good for them and it will be good for us. So I look at health loan a little differently from the rest of the non-income generating loans. But then I think Sangeeta has prepared a very good presentation, and she will give the background why this is required, how we want to do it, and how we are trying to develop a new way of assessing the financial status or financial stability of the household who may require a loan. Because ultimately we would want the loan to come back to us also in some installments. So whether it should be 10 installments, it should be 15 installment, what should the equated installment size, everything she is going to discuss. So I will leave it to Sangeeta to take us forward. Thank you. Thank you, Sangeeta and Saibal.
Thank you, sir. So in this regard, we have invited all the MFIs who are working in and around Lucknow, Barabanki, Hardoi, Sitapur, Bulandshahr, uh, that's all, five or six locations that we have. And so uh, I have prepared a presentation, like we started this with a survey to understand the difference between borrower and non-borrower. And then we saw that there is not much difference, because people that from your area who uh, have been there, some of your clients you have surveyed, and some of them actually have you have rejected some, and you have taken some of them as clients. So uh, yeah, so that uh, there was not much difference. So based on that, we actually had prepared parameters on which we will evaluate these clients who will be able to take this loan, who are actually credit worthy, and how would you qualify them to be credit worthy. Of course, you will check their credit history and all, but before that, uh, checking their some assets that we have prepared that parameters as well. I'll show that in this slide. Many of you are new to this effort, so I'll just a little bit of background what Bakshi sir has already given. I also uh, tell you about the mindset, the thought process that we have here with Medo Plus, that we have started this emergency health product. And Dr. Soibal also has said that emergency health product is a very different product. And when an emergency happens, who is there and where to go for this person? Because microfinance has started because we wanted the client to not to go to the money lender. But in an emergency, are we in a position to lend to that client so as to stop him from going to the money lenders? So that was the thought I had. So in an emergency, a client doesn't have anywhere to go but to the money lender, because his friends and family, all of them are in the same stage, who may not be able to support him if it is an emergency of that kind. And here I have put one quote. I request each of you to think it twice, that the greatest threat happens in case of planet and in case of health also. We think that, and especially the microfinance partners, members, friends that we have here, all of you need to think, who will do it first? Who will bail the cat? And everybody believes that somebody else will do, and if it succeeds, then we will follow. But together we have to create this, because we are all in the business, and it has to be a collective effort for something to succeed. So, and health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So that is what we also think, that in our survey also it came, like, this is the great words of somebody who is a thought leader. But if you think that a person feels discomfort even before he really falls sick, which requires hospitalization, what about that? So how can we do something about that? So those are not emergencies, but that will lead to emergency from, and it can be an indicator with which we can monitor the client's health also. And if we go, if we see, and when I talk, and I have approached so many MFIs, and and you people who have already agreed to participate in this, many of our members also express their inability to come here attend this, because they said कि they already have something regarding health. So it is health insurance product they are saying. Insurance is something after service. What what is there which requires service right now? So the money which you get after your service is insurance. And many of the MFIs have this insurance products. But if you see this graph,
Sangeeta, can you make it slide slow then? Slide slow, then it will be helpful. It will be bigger one.
actually it is going right towards the right. Okay.
That's the
Okay.
one.
So if you can see the slide, then insurance is it is less than 2%. Health insurance premium is less than 2%, and from the survey, from the source that we have taken this data, it shows urban as 3.6%, maybe because of the MFI's insurance provision, and rural it is 0.8% in the year 2022. This data is of 2022. And if you see this is the portfolio we have taken from the data that we collect in Sadhan. This is 23 data, and it says that even if 30 out of 1,000 people fall sick with health emergency, then your portfolio risk is 8,000 crore. If whatever MFI sector is there, 8,000 crore is not a small amount. It is a huge amount. And when we go to the OD clients, if you go to the OD clients and check why they have defaulted, in 95% of cases, it is definitely a health issue. And this again is from another source, which says emergency health product will give you 30% reduction in emergency mortality rate. Suppose it is that serious a case. 30% reduction can happen with just our proactiveness, with just a little. Impact on health, it is transforming as in the previous slide, it was saying that the community wellness can be transformed in a very significant way. If you see a family and there are 2 or 3 people who are not so healthy, then that actually impacts. Even if they are not taking any regular medication or hospitalization or something like that, still it impacts the family's capability to earn more. And that is what we call as morbidity. Mortality is a far-fetched thing. It happens over a period of time, but morbidity can continue without timely treatment of the symptoms. Any disease will show. It throws up symptoms, and the treatment has to happen. Not emergency, sometimes emergency. We don't know. So this has been taken from some other study. So I have taken this slide, I have kept this here because I want to bring your attention to here, because these are the aspects an emergency health product can address. And the pilot that we are proposing are, as I told, MFI is working in Barabanki, Hardoi, Raebareli, Sitapur, rural Lucknow, and Bulandshahr districts of UP. And here is a little calculation. If you can see my screen, hope you all are able to see my screen.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have taken the loan sizes to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 1 lakh, just for the sake of your understanding. So if the interest rate is say 25%, and for different amounts of loans, I have kept different number of installments, and I have calculated it what will be the maximum EMI size. So for 10,000, for a 12 installment thing, it will be 1,042, and likewise the 1 lakh loan. Sorry, I'm not able to show it. Here it is. It is 2,083 for 1 lakh, and if it is a 60 months loan, 60 installment loan. And if we together can give out 100 loans to build this proof of concept in this pilot stage, then maximum people will take this 10,000 loans. That is the emergency is the amount of requirement in emergency can be as small as 10,000, which is not available. And if we calculate this, 50% of 100 is 50. So likewise, I have calculated, and the total principal that will be at risk if you say that emergency loan product is too risky a product, then the total risk will be say 20 lakhs. So 21 lakhs you can see. And if there are 20 partners, then it is less than a lakh or just a bit more than a lakh. So that is affordable, right, during this proof of concept. So there is, at least as per my understanding, I don't see any reason why you would not participate in something as genuine, as grand, and as beneficial, and such a breakthrough of, opportunity this will be. And why would you miss this opportunity to participate and being part of this great experimentation? So there were borrowers in our survey. This is again from our survey. There were 85% of borrowers who fell ill. And from non-borrowers, 64% of them fell ill. 3% hospitalized and 1% hospitalized, both in the borrowers and non-borrower case. Why? Because they didn't have this emergency support when they needed, but they needed hospitalization, but they couldn't take it. And despite have 8% of them, despite having health insurance, they couldn't avail it on time. And 4% non-borrowers have health insurance, which also they couldn't, because they couldn't get into the hospital, so they couldn't avail this. So what is the use of utilizing, having this health insurance if they cannot hospitalize themselves for the lack of the capital that they need? 54% had life insurance and 42% non-borrower had life insurance, and claims received just 1% and less than 1%. And average expenses, this is a very conservative rate. Everybody knows what is the hospitalization that happens in case of a serious treatment. It is averaged to not less than 30,000 for any kind of hospital that you have. So the proposed product design that we had discussed in the last workshop was, these are the parameters. We take family size. If it is less than 4, then the score will be 5. And 4 to 5, it is 3. Less than, greater than 5, it will be 2. Likewise, if you can just go through and you can ask me a question if you don't understand. The people who are new to this concept, they may ask a question, because we have at length discussed about these parameters, and I will send this. I have already sent this along with the mail. Again, I will be sending this.
See, Sangeeta, let me intervene here a little.
Yeah.
Once again, for the benefit of those who were perhaps not part of our earlier workshops or have not gone through this, we are trying to develop a new way of loan assessment and the financial stability of the household. So please, for this pilot project for proof of concept, what Sangeeta is speaking about, please forget totally your present appraisal method. उसको बिल्कुल भी दिमाग में मत रखिए कि रिजर्व बैंक का क्या इंस्ट्रक्शन है, आपके हेड ऑफिस का क्या इंस्ट्रक्शन है, वो बिल्कुल मत अपने दिमाग में रखिए. We are trying to develop a totally new way of assessing the household financial stability. And I will give you a very simple example, which has nothing to do with finance. Recently, only Olympics were over, and I am very sure that at least some of you would have watched the Olympics on television. At least I have never watched in live, in person anywhere in any Olympic. I have watched only on television. Now, suppose a football match was taking place between, say, Netherlands and Brazil. तो हम सबको मालूम है कि Brazil always plays in yellow jersey and Netherlands always plays in orange jersey. So that is known to us when the team arrives. Even if somebody doesn't tell us which team is Brazil team, by looking at the jersey, we will know that this is the Brazil team, and because they are players. So official jersey has been given to them. But look at the 30,000 spectators in the stadium. They are also wearing, some of them are wearing yellow jersey and some are wearing orange jersey. Now, looking at the spectators, can I say that the 10,000 people who are wearing yellow jersey are either Brazilians or at least the supporters of Brazil? I don't have to check their passports. Just their color of jersey tells me they are supporters of Brazil or they are actually Brazilian citizens. Similarly, the orange jersey means it will be a very rare thing that a Netherlands person will be wearing a yellow jersey or a Brazilian will be wearing a orange jersey. Not more than 0.0001% chance of that. What I'm trying to tell you is that it is not necessary to look at their passport to understand whether they are Brazilians or Netherlands. There is some other way of finding out whether they are Brazil or they are Netherlands. So similarly, we are trying to, you forget, again I repeat, please forget for this pilot project your present appraisal method, your CIBIL score and all those things, please forget. आपको याद ही नहीं है कि ऐसा क्या instruction. We are trying to devise a new method of assessing people, household and their financial stability. That is why for every parameter, Sangeeta has also given a logic for that just below in the blue tab. When family size is less than 4, you give higher marks. When family size is very large, you give low marks. Only 2 if the family size is 5 or more. And what is the logic Sangeeta has written? The smaller families means they have lower dependency ratios. That means if there is one income earner in that household, only 3 more people are depending on him, on that one person's income. But if the family size is very large, 7 people are there in the family, on the income of one person, 6 people are depending on that. That means the family, which is very large in size, will have lesser repayment capacity because there is large amount of expenditure because of the large family. The smaller family means from whatever income they have higher availability of money to repay the loan. This is the logic that we are trying to derive at. And then we are not depending on just one parameter. There are a series of parameters, and then an aggregate score of all those parameters will tell us about the stability, financial stability of that family. This is the logic we are building. Again, I am repeating, please forget for this pilot project your existing appraisal method. We are not going to apply that. We are going to apply this simple thing and try to see whether we arrive at logical conclusions. And as Sangeeta has said, the risk that any MFI is going to bear is hardly going to be 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees. In your balance sheet, loss, even if these loans become bad in this pilot project, and we will take care that these loans do not become bad. Even if it becomes bad, it will affect your balance sheet by 0.000001%. So that will not, nobody is going to blame you. Reserve Bank will not ask you any questions. Southern will not ask you any questions. So don't worry about it. We are trying something new, and when we do something new, sometimes mistakes take place. So we should be prepared for those mistakes. But even that mistake is not going to cost us very heavily. So let us not worry about the mistake. So please, Sangeeta, go ahead now.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that explanation. And so,
On the
earning
very
to,
next question, let us
yes, sir.
see the second question, the logic that we are trying to build in. Go
Yes.
to the earlier. See, as I said, if the family is large expenditure in that family is high and therefore their repayment capacity is low. Now come to the earning males who are in the village itself. In that household, if only one person is earning, no, remain on that slide, remain on that slide. If only one person is earning, then we are giving only 3 marks. But if 3 persons are engaged in some livelihood activity, we are giving 7 marks. Means in a household where larger number of people are earning income, it has better repaying capacity and therefore higher marks are given to that. So we are trying to build a logic for every question and then the marking system has been devised. Yes, now go ahead.
Yes. The same for the earning females. So the highest mark is 7 again. One earning member is 3, 2 is 5, and more than 2 is 7. And any member with a regular job, including engagement in casual work for at least 3 months or more in a year, 3 to 6 months, 3, 6 to 9 months, 5, more than 9 months, 7.
Now, the important thing about these indicators is that hardly anybody can lie about. You don't even have to ask that household. Even their neighbors will tell what is the size of the household. उसके घर में कितने कमाने हैं, आदमी कितने कमाते हैं, औरतें कितना कमाती हैं, मजदूरी करते हैं, तो पड़ोसी से भी पूछेंगे ना कि साल में 3-4 महीने काम कर लेते हैं क्या, तो वो बता देगा नहीं नहीं इनके पास तो 15 दिन का भी काम नहीं होता, नहीं नहीं ये तो 6 महीने काम करते रहते हैं. These are indicators which can be verified very easily without going into documentation. It is the social network which will tell us about these things. We don't have to look at any documentation. उनका राशन कार्ड देखने की जरूरत नहीं है, पासपोर्ट देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Anybody in the village will tell कि संगीता की फैमिली में कितने लोग रहते हैं, संगीता की फैमिली में कितने लोग काम करते हैं, संगीता साल भर काम करती है कि सिर्फ 15 दिन काम करती है. किसी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन की जरूरत नहीं है. बट दीज क्वेश्चंस आर टेलिंग अस अ लॉट अबाउट संगीता's family or anybody's family. I'm just using Sangeeta's name for simplicity. So these are easily verifiable indicators where nobody can hide these things. These are well known in the household. Their neighbors will know it, and you can verify it without going into any documentation. That is the important thing about these indicators. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Then members working abroad and sending remittances regularly. So we have two parts to it. People who are working within India and outside India. So the question number 5 is about abroad. So people may, family members may work abroad or family members may work somewhere else in another state, but outside their place, a place of living, wherever they are. And the numbers are given accordingly. If it is one person within India, then it is 2. 2 persons within India, it is 3. 3 persons, it is 5, and more than 3, it is 7. Similarly, people who are working abroad, if one person is working abroad, then it is 3. 1 to 2 people are working abroad, 5, and more than 2, it is 7.
Again, the same thing, that if somebody is, किसी के family में से some one person has gone to Dubai, even as a laborer, the whole village knows about it. Oh, from that household, yeah, Hamid has gone to Dubai to do some work. At least that knowledge is there. You don't have to again look at visas and passports. This is simple common information that is available. But it tells us one thing, that if an emergency comes, Hamid will be able to send money from Dubai. 10,000 rupees, 20,000 rupees. We are not asking about 25 lakh rupees. Small amounts. So repayment capacity of that household is better because somebody is working abroad. That is the simple analysis that we are doing.
Yes. So in a family where there is nobody who is above 70 years of age, no aged person, then the family gets 3 numbers. There is a maximum number. One person is -2, 2 people is -3, and more than 2 is -5. And
Negative marking again
yeah.
means if there are very old people in the household, means repeated expenditure on their medical, etc., will be there, and therefore the repayment capacity of that household is less. And that is why negative marking. If there is no old person in that household, well, the chances of people falling sick for long period on which medical expenditure will be required is less, and therefore their repayment capacity is better. So this is the logic that has been built in.
Similarly, about
Yes,
chronic ailments. So, if a family member is with chronic members, in our survey, we had asked whether a child is suffering from some chronic ailment, or adult person, or an aged person. So, for nobody, it is 2, because the maximum number is 2. One person, then it is -3. And if it is more than 1, it is -5. Family in crop production, no land, we have given 0. Less than 2 acres of lands, it is 2. 2 to 5 acres of land is 3. 5 to 10 acres, 5. More than 10 acres, 7. So maximum number is 7. Family with dairy animals, milching dairy animals, 2 animals, it is 2. 3 for 3. 4 to 5 animals, it is 5. And more than 5 animals, it's 7. Other animals also families have. So if it is goat and sheep, less than 5 is 3, 5 to 10 is 5, and more than 10 is 7. As a small business with regular income, like a poultry farm maybe, if it is there, anything, any business with a regular income, then it is 4. And family with subsidized food card, if they have one, then if it is yes, then 4. And have taken a loan from a formal institutions in the last 3 years. If it is yes, then 4. No, then it is 2. Sir, ये भी थोड़ा explain कर दीजिए. Why, in case of no, we have given some numbers to them.
See, if they have not taken any loan, there can be 2 reasons. One is they were not eligible for the loan. The second is they did not need a loan. Now, according to your CIBIL score kind of situation, I would have a very poor CIBIL score because for the last 30 years I have not taken any loan. So my CIBIL score will be very bad, and therefore you will not give me a loan because my CIBIL score is bad. But that does not mean that my CIBIL score is bad and therefore I don't have a repayment capacity. But we have given a small positive number that perhaps this family did not require a loan, not it was rejected for a loan. If it is rejected, you will already have that data. But let us not get into that because we are comparing different parameters. And if somebody had taken a loan in the last 3 years from an MFI or a bank, it has already been assessed for good repaying capacity. That is why they have been given a loan. So let us give them a higher mark. The second part, if they have not taken a loan, is perhaps they did not require a loan. And therefore, also they are not repaying anything. They have not borrowed anything. That means they have enough income to sustain themselves. This is also a positive sign, and therefore a smaller mark has been given. 2 has been given instead of 4, where credit scoring had already been done, and they were found to be good borrowers, and therefore we have given a loan.
Thank you, sir. So amount of loan outstanding, accordingly, we have given the maximum number is 4. If it is less than 25,000 outstanding, that is 4. 25 to 50,000 outstanding, it is 2. 50 to 1 lakh, it is 1. 100 to 2 lakh outstanding is -3, and more than 2 lakh is -5. Has a pakka house, it is 4. Has a house given or supported by government? Yes, then it is 3. Has at least one 4-wheeler, and it can be categorized into 2 categories. Is private passenger vehicle is 1, and public passenger vehicle is 3. Has 2-wheelers, then it is 2. More than 2 2-wheelers, it is 3. and has a tractor, one or more is 3. Owns fridge, TV or such gadgets, then it is 2. No, it is 0. Sorry, there is a mistake here.
It is not 9, it is 0.
It has to be 0. Yeah.
See, the idea is again that if a household has television, it has refrigerator, it has a two-wheeler, it has a tractor, that means it has a good financial stability. इससे ज्यादा क्या चाहिए? जो टीवी खरीद सकता है उसके पास 10,000 20,000 रुपए का लोन वापस करने का तो औकात है. Why are we so worried about this? Nothing will happen to it. Worst comes worst, they will sell the TV. 3-4 हजार में तो वो पुराना टीवी भी बिक जाएगा.
Now eligibility. तो इतने सारे जो पैरामीटर्स थे, it totals to 100, और फैमिली स्कोर which scores more than 70. So 50,000 to 1 lakh लोन उनको दिया जा सकता है for 24 months or whatever you decide. So this is just a proposition. Family scores between 60 to 70, 40,000 to 50,000, this family can be given. 50 to 60, 25,000 to 40,000 can be given for 18 months. Then 40 to 50, then less than 25,000 can be given. And family score less than 40 means the eligibility is not there. And the workflow is here. Sir, थोड़ा सा explain कर दें इसको.
So workflow is like this, that since MFI will not know who is sick in the village, who is getting hospitalized, since we have our Meadow Mitra in the villages, they will come to first who is likely to, and most of the times I think the health loan will be required for hospitalization, not for outpatient care. Consultation and diagnostic के लिए most probably loans will not be required. So when our Meadow Mitra comes to know that somebody is likely to be hospitalized, then they are delaying hospitalization because they don't have immediate money. That is the right case for us to give a loan. So they will collect this data. It will be verified by our field staff, which are staff of Meadow Plus, and they will upload it on our platform along with a prescription of the hospital about the ailment, what is the likely duration of hospitalization, what is the likely expenditure for that kind of treatment or whatever hospitalization will be done. So along with this data sheet and a kind of a expenditure assessment of the doctor or hospital, it will be uploaded on our platform and then transferred to you. Once you see it, the scoring, which has already been verified, the idea is that given the parameters, Sangeeta has already told, if the score is less than 40, we will not even send the application to you because it has to be rejected. But if it is more than 40, in what category of loan size they will fit in, and depending upon the requirement of the household, as given by the hospital or doctor, you will sanction the loan. And when an emergency is there, then you don't take 3 weeks to appraise the loan. It has to be made available immediately. The money will be transferred directly to the hospital or to the doctor's account and not given to the borrower. There is a small loan application cum agreement form also with Sangeeta, which Sadhan has designed and perhaps has been shared with you. So they will immediately sign that form, which becomes an application to you and also an agreement that they will abide by your terms and conditions, along with the assessment of the expenditure from the doctor or hospital. It will come to you. You will immediately sanction, and within 24 hours, you will remit that amount to the doctor or hospital so that treatment can start immediately. There may still be some other formalities which you would like to complete, which during the course of time in the next 10-15 days, they can be completed. But release of money will not be withheld for completion of those formalities which you will do in the next 2 weeks, because the person has already signed an agreement with you that they will fulfill all the responsibility. And that is how the process will be there. And we are not, as Sangeeta has said, we are trying to give only 2-3 loans per MFI. Perhaps total will be 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees per MFI. And let us see how the process works. If this works, and Sangeeta has already said that when we compare the data which has been collected by you all. We did not collect in Meadow Plus. We did not collect the data. Sadhan has not collected the data. Of borrowers and non-borrowers, data was collected by you all. And we realized that there is there is extreme similarity between those who have borrowed from us, who are existing borrowers, and those who have not borrowed from us. There is very much similar, though the data compares almost similar. And that is why we have come to the conclusion that those who have not borrowed us but have the same characteristics like our borrowers should also be eligible for a loan. And that is how we are saying that if they get a score of 50, 60, 70, etc., they become eligible for a loan, for a health loan. And if this succeeds, maybe we will start using similar method for our other products also and leave it to Sadhan to tackle the Reserve Bank of India and instructions and all that. You don't get into that. So for this pilot project, let us use these parameters. Don't go into your existing loan assessment and appraisal formalities. We will use only this tool to give loan to see whether it comes back. And if it comes back, then when we have a new tool to assess people. This is the entire exercise is for that purpose. The regulatory part, Sadhan will take care from with the Reserve Bank and other regulatory requirements. So you don't have to worry about that. Any other clarification if somebody needs, we'll be happy to give.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So that is all in the presentation. Now the floor is open for your questions. Thank you. So I request everybody to ask questions.
So, Sangeeta, Ashish here. So, I have one question on the process flow. So, let's say there is a casualty happened and the customer's family member is admitted, and then this process starts.
Normally, no hospital will admit a patient unless a deposit is made. Even when we go to the hospital, they say either show that you are insured, your insurance cover is there for your hospitalization, or make a deposit of 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, and they will tell the amount based on their own assessment of likely expenditure. So when an emergency comes, and that is why everything has to be done very quickly. Our Meadow Mitra comes to know very quickly because they live in the same village, and therefore they are the first people to come to know that somebody is requiring hospitalization. The moment that happens, they will contact this household and say that, do you need a loan for this, or you have enough money? If they have enough money, they are not our client. If they need a loan, they will immediately complete these formalities and send it to you. Now, once you get this data with the parameters and the scoring has already been done, okay, since the score is 65, this household is eligible for a loan of about 25,000 rupees. Requirement is only 20,000 rupees. The doctor's prescription says that 20,000 ka deposit karna hai. You immediately sanction the loan and credit it to the hospital, not to the individual. And they have already signed an agreement application, loan application come agreement form, which Sadhan has already designed. Since they have signed it, you release this money to the hospital. I mean, that is the process we are trying to work on and perfect it. If there are any lacuna in that, this pilot is only to complete, to find out if there are problems, how to solve those problems, how to get over those problems. Pilot means that we are experimenting with a new thing, and if there are any problems, we'll see what are the answers to that, how to rectify that.
Yeah, Prakash ji, I understand the intent and the overall process and the scoring mechanism look fabulous. But having said that, when it comes to the healthcare and the timeline to address that particular requirement, which is quite the turnaround time has to be very high.
Absolutely.
So, for institution like us, before the agreement is signed, so it is difficult to transfer the money. So, as per I know you said couple of things in terms of the regulatory side, Sadhan will take care. But whatever product has to be approved, we need to take it to the board and get the entire process approved. So, in this case, if the agreement is not being signed, then it will not be possible to transfer the money, and everything has to be done on an instant basis, getting the scorecard, doing the credit assessment, doing a customer's agreement to transfer the money to the hospital, and then transferring of the money.
Right.
So normal
मुझे
process
थोड़ा सा
also
चाय
in microfinance, normal loan process also that we do also, it takes at least a turnaround time of 2 days.
Right. And that is what we are trying to break. That can we make it faster and how to make it faster? See, the entire experiment is to find out where the delays take place and how to avoid that delay, how to reduce that delay. That is why we are calling it a pilot project. We already know that it may take 2 days time, but can we make it one day? Can we make it 6 hours? Can we make it 3 hours? Where is the bottleneck? Unless we actually work, all these will be hypothetical. When we start working and start sanctioning loans, maybe the first loan will take 2 days time because we were all inefficient. We will ourselves know, okay, this was the mistake that we have made. In the next loan, we will not make this mistake. This is how we will perfect the product. So this entire exercise is for perfecting the product. You are very right. If you require your board's approval, your CEO's approval or whatever, that is, I believe, leave it between Sadhan and you. Sadhan will, I think, take care of this part, how to get approval for this pilot project. I mean, I leave it to Sadhan only for this. Because as the Association of MFIs, it is Sadhan's responsibility to see that everybody participates in the project wholeheartedly. When you have to
Good
talk to the
afternoon.
CEOs and
Good
get it
afternoon.
done. Yeah, Gigi.
Hello.
Welcome.
Yeah, this is Gigi Mamani here. I'm sorry I could not join in the beginning. I was outside. So let me clarify a couple of points. One is that we have already sent a letter to all the participating MFIs who are part of our initial workshops, and those we have sent a letter to them where we have very clearly said, this being a different product, this being a different process, you need to take a policy approval. There is no doubt about it. You have to take an approval of the board. That is the reason why we said we are sending this letter to you. You keep everything ready. So please take the necessary approvals as per your requirement, as per your needs. Whether it is CEO can approve a new product, well and good. If it has to go to a committee, you have to take it to the committee. If it has to be taken to the board, you have to take it to the board. So that has to be done quickly, please. That is one thing. Secondly, regarding the product, see, this is a totally a new approach. So let's forget about what we have been doing. And as I said, as we said, it's not going to be a big exposure to you. We are only asking you for an exposure of, say, 5 to 10 loans in a period of 2 months' time. So which would be at the most, it can go up to some 2 or 3 lakhs at the most. Even if there is any kind of a, delinquency of 100% delinquency, your loss would be very, very minimal. But this being a pilot, if we can do this with all sincerity and with all kind of the norms which we have suggested, it will throw open a new window of opportunity. See, so far we had been doing in a particular mode. If this kind of a system works out, we can think of, see, this, forget about the health loan. Health loan is one of the beginning of it. If it succeeds, it will throw open a new opportunity for all of us to start new products and new processes in the MFI system. We had been following a system for the last 25 years without much change at all. So this is something new we are trying to say. We're not a group loan. It's an individual loan based on a need and based on an assessment which can be quickly done without any kind of a major kind of major kind of any additional information needed. We can see the person's living conditions, see the person's house, and we can take a decision based on this scoring method. I'm sure Sangeeta must have told about the various parameters we have identified. Those 21 parameters are all very specific, and we can very clearly make out whether somebody is eligible or not eligible. I mean, somebody has someone, how much he has or how much he doesn't have. So based on that, evaluation is done, assessment is done by anybody. It's a very objective one. So trying to do a new, taking a new approach so that it can, as I said, it can open up a new opportunity for us to go for new products. This is what we are looking at. So my request is that whatever sanction approvals you have to take, you please take it quickly. As I said, it all depends on each institution's requirement. Someone's board must have already delegated such powers to the CEOs. If that is the case, CEOs can directly take the approval. Whereas if it has to go to a committee, loan product committee or something like that, it has to go to the committee. If it is to go to a board, it can be done. But you don't wait for a board meeting to happen, or don't wait for a committee meeting to happen. You can circulate and get it approved. This kind of products can be circulated and got it approved. So my request is that let's all try to make a beginning, try to make an experimentation, and it is a pilot. And this can help us in retuning the whole approach and try to get a better product for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any more questions, please? Ashish ji, your questions have been answered, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Did you receive those mails also that we have circulated earlier?
Yeah, Anup TP has forwarded me those emails.
Okay. So we had mentioned that if there is an approval required, then you can take it quickly for this pilot. Yeah.
Sure.
And also, if you need some particular kind of document for that, then we can also develop that.
And we have also given a simplified documentation format. Along with our product, we have also suggested a simple format, which can also be adopted for this product, and which, if you find it good, you can use it for the future products also.
Any other question, please? Avnish ji, any question?
So, Sangeeta, what we should do, we have to, those members who are joined newly, please send that letter once again to them.
Yes.
What we have mentioned in the letter to the other members, So please send it to them and let them quickly take whatever approvals required, and we should be in a position to start the product start the launch of the product in another 1 week, 2 weeks time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sir. So, any other question? Yes, sir.
So let's close it here, Sangeeta, and maybe we can take a review after a week or so. Once again, we can take a review if you want, and that time we can have a little more discussions based on their experience on the certain things which they are starting to do, So based on that, we can further have some discussion.
Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Very well done, Sangeeta. Good work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That is right. Thank you.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.